For nearly 8 years, the Tesla Semi has felt like a promise frozen in time. It was unveiled with massive ambition, delivered in small numbers, and then it almost disappeared. No flashy updates. No constant teasers. Just silence. And that silence is exactly what has people talking. Because behind the scenes, there are growing signs that Tesla didn't slow down the Semi by accident. In fact, it looks like the company may have quietly fixed the biggest problems that once held the truck back, and waited until the very last moment to say anything at all. When Tesla first revealed the Semi, it shocked the trucking world. A fully electric Class 8 truck with up to 500 miles of range sounded unrealistic, even impossible. Skeptics laughed it off, calling it marketing hype designed for headlines, not highways. Yet years later, the Semi exists. It's been driven, it's hauled real cargo, and it's proven that electric long-haul trucking isn't a fantasy. But after the initial deliveries, Tesla went quiet, and that's where the real mystery begins. The delivery event happened almost 3 years ago, and since then, official updates have been scarce. The last meaningful footage surfaced over a year ago. For a company known for loud launches and constant online buzz, this silence feels deliberate. Many assumed the Semi was delayed again, stuck behind production issues or battery shortages. Others believed Tesla simply lost interest, but neither explanation fully adds up. Because while the public saw silence, the signals behind the scenes told a very different story. One of the biggest reasons for the pause may have nothing to do with range or batteries at all. Instead, it points straight to autonomy. Elon Musk has made it clear that Tesla's future hinges on AI and full self-driving, and the Semi is no exception. For Tesla, an electric truck isn't the end goal. An autonomous electric truck is. That shift in priority explains a lot. Building a truck that can drive itself safely across hundreds of miles changes everything, from hardware design to software integration. And it may explain why Tesla chose to slow down. Public releases, while accelerating development in private, and autonomy wasn't the only challenge. Early versions of the Semi faced criticism in 3 key areas: aerodynamics, payload efficiency, and cabin practicality. These weren't deal breakers, but they were serious limitations for long-haul trucking. A truck can't just be fast or futuristic. It has to make financial sense for fleet operators who count every mile, every pound, and every hour behind the wheel. According to growing speculation, Tesla has now quietly addressed all 3 of these weak points in the Semi Gen 2.1. Of the first clues came from unexpected places. Observers near Gigafactory Nevada began spotting multiple Semi units parked outside the facility. At first glance, they looked familiar. But closer inspection revealed subtle differences. Some trucks appeared to have darker light shields, something never seen before. Others showed variations in fairing size. This sparked rumors that Tesla may be experimenting with new cabin configurations, possibly even a sleeper cab variant. Tesla hasn't confirmed this, but the idea alone has sent curiosity through the trucking community. A sleeper cab would be a massive shift. It would allow drivers to stay overnight, expand route flexibility, and make the Semi viable for true long-haul operations. Reports have suggested that Tesla engineers have been actively discussing overnight-capable designs while navigating the challenges of megacharger placement. If true, this would explain why the cabin layout appears to be evolving and why Tesla may be rethinking the entire interior from the ground up. The exterior changes tell an equally important story. The most noticeable update is the front end. The Semi now features a sleek light bar, inspired by Tesla's newer designs, giving it a more modern and aggressive look. The headlights no longer resemble the expressive eyes of the original prototype, but the new design feels sharper, cleaner, and more refined. The front bumper has been reshaped, and the roofline smoothed out, reducing visual bulk and improving airflow. Aerodynamics matter more for trucks than almost any other vehicle on the road. The original Semi already had a remarkably low drag coefficient of 0.36, nearly half that of traditional diesel trucks, which often sit between 0.65 and 0.70. With the updated design, some estimates suggest Tesla may have pushed that number down to around 0.34. That might sound minor, but even a small reduction can translate to a 5 to 7% efficiency gain, adding dozens of miles of range without increasing battery size. Another surprising change is the windshield. The original panoramic glass offered incredible visibility, but came with aerodynamic penalties. In the refreshed version, the windshield appears smaller and more aggressively curved. This reduces turbulence around the pillars, improves airflow, and lowers heat entering the cabin. Less heat means less strain on cooling systems and better overall efficiency. Details that matter deeply at scale. Payload capacity is another area where Tesla seems to have made progress. The legal maximum gross weight remains 82,000 pounds. But Tesla has hinted that the Semi itself is now lighter. That suggests internal weight reduction, likely tied to battery redesign. A lighter truck means more cargo per trip, and for fleet operators, that directly impacts profitability. But the real breakthrough sits beneath the chassis. Tesla has confirmed that the Semi Gen 2 will transition to the 4680 battery cell format. These cells represent a major leap in energy density, structural efficiency, and manufacturing cost. With energy densities approaching 290 watt-hours per kilogram, the 4680 cells allow Tesla to use a smaller battery pack while maintaining the same range. That means less weight, fewer materials, and easier integration, all without sacrificing performance. Some reports claim the new Semi consumes as little as 1.7 kilowatts per mile, a significant improvement over earlier versions. Combined with aerodynamic gains, this allows the truck to maintain a 500-mile range even with a smaller battery. The drivetrain still delivers around 800 kilowatts of power, but internal upgrades to cooling software and thermal routing make it more efficient and durable under heavy loads. Critics often argue that battery supply is the real bottleneck, especially when it comes to the 4680 cells. But Tesla leadership has pushed back on that idea. During recent earnings calls, the company confirmed that 4680 production is expanding and not limited to a single vehicle. Gigafactory Nevada is undergoing a massive expansion, reportedly adding millions of square feet dedicated to both semi-production and battery manufacturing. Once Cybertruck production stabilizes, surplus cells could easily be redirected to the Semi. So if batteries aren't the main issue, what is? Charging infrastructure remains a major hurdle. Mega chargers are expensive, sometimes costing up to $6 million per installation. They also require approvals, utility coordination, and long development timelines. PepsiCo's experience is a perfect example. Nearly 2 years to build just a handful of charging stations. Even for Tesla, this process can't be rushed. Then there's the price. When the Semi was first announced, Tesla promised eye-catching numbers, $150,000 for the 300-mile version and $180,000 for the 500-mile version. Those figures no longer reflect reality. Industry observers now estimate prices ranging from $300,000 to over $400,000. Some reports even suggest higher numbers for specialized variants. This shift has already impacted customers like Ryder, which reduced its planned order after reassessing the economics. But this price increase doesn't necessarily spell trouble. For fleet operators, total cost of ownership matters far more than upfront price. Lower fuel costs, reduced maintenance, and higher efficiency can offset the initial investment over time. Tesla appears to be moving away from loss-leading strategies and toward sustainable pricing that reflects real production costs and long-term value. All of this brings us back to the silence. Tesla may not be hiding delays. It may be waiting for the right moment. With a redesigned truck, improved aerodynamics, lighter structure, advanced batteries, and a growing charging network, the Semi Gen 2 looks closer than ever to fulfilling its original promise. Rushing announcements before everything is ready would only invite criticism. Staying quiet keeps expectations in check. At this point, there are only two likely explanations for the limited number of Semis on the road. Either the megacharger network isn't ready at scale, or Tesla is finalizing a major refresh it doesn't want to reveal too early. Both suggest strategy, not failure. And if history tells us anything, Tesla tends to speak loudest when it's ready to deliver. So the real question isn't whether the Tesla Semi will succeed. It's when Tesla decides the world is ready to see what it's truly been working on. Because when that silence finally breaks, the trucking industry may be forced to rethink everything it thought it knew about the future of freight.